All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Captain Kevin Wong from Penguin International. I would like to, on behalf of Penguin International, to thank the organizer for inviting us to share with you our journey on decarbonization. But before I begin, many people wonder what Penguin does. We do not sell penguins. So let me give you a brief introduction of who we are and what we do. The Penguin Group was founded in 1976 as a domestic ferry operator, providing ferry service to the southern islands, seafarers to the ships. And along the way, they provided ferry service to the regional islands in Indonesia. In 1996, we delivered our first new-built vessel as a shipbuilder. In 1997, the company was publicly listed in the Singapore Stock Exchange. Today, we are a fully integrated designer, builder, owner, operator of aluminium high-speed craft. We have 2 shipyards, one in Singapore and one in Batam. They are fully equipped, and we have in-house designers, engineering teams, as well as project teams. Under our Pelican Group, we are also owner-operators of crew boats and marine crafts. With over 30 vessels and a full in-house ship management team, we have established track records with government agencies as well as our companies. In our circle of life, as I mentioned, as a designer, builder, owner, operator, the experience that we gain through the circle goes back to designing better boats. Since 1996, we have delivered more than 200 vessels to government sector, offshore wind sector, offshore oil and gas, as well as the ferry sectors. Now for our decarbonization journey. Interestingly, our decarbonization journey began in 2016 when we received a nudge from the Singapore Stock Exchange to deliver a sustainability report. This led us to think of what we could do for sustainable shipping. Our first decarb project was nothing fancy. Back in 2017, we installed solar panels and lead-acid batteries on our catamaran ferry, the Penguin Redeem. As a catamaran, she has the benefit of a wide deck of 45 square meters to install solar panels to generate 20 kilowatts of electricity. Energy harvested during the day was stored in batteries for use at night when the ferry is not in operation. Without the generator running, the batteries were powering the lights, the aircon, and also the pumps to run for the toilets. Without generator, there was no emission. The crew have better quality sleep. And in the end, we managed to save 150 liters of marine gas oil each night, and we recovered the infrastructure costs in 18 months. So from the experience of the Penguin Redeem, in 2019, we worked with local companies and energy experts to develop Singapore's first hybrid electric pilot boat, the Penguin Tenaga. Our project partners are, some of them are here, BH Global, Sea Forest, and the local arm of Danfoss. The Penguin Tenaga was intended to be a standby vessel for the marine spread supporting Shell operations in Singapore. While contractually, we were only required to provide conventionally powered vessels, but we went ahead to build a hybrid electric boat without informing Shell. And when it came to Shell's knowledge, the boat was already delivered. Thankfully for us, Shell became a fan of the vessel, and they have since been using this boat for their VIP trips. The Penguin Tenaga is based on a parallel hybrid propulsion system, capable of running on pure battery at 5 knots for 3 hours. When the throttles are increased beyond 5 knots, the diesel engine kicks in to propel the vessel, as well as charging the batteries at the same time. From this first hybrid project, we learned to manage transmission integration, as the vessel was based on a conventional propulsion, retrofitted with electric motors, and of course gearbox. Retrofitting may sound simple, but managing the project partners was important, as equipment suppliers back then were unfamiliar with opening up their systems for such hybrid integration. Nevertheless, we took things one step at a time and developed solutions along the way. When the MPA called a tender for the construction of Singapore's first hybrid electric petrol boat, the MPA Guardian, we saw the opportunity, and our experience from the Penguin Tenaga project gave us confidence to put in our bids. Working with partners like BMT Ship Design, Praxis, Razor Blunt, and MPA's consultant, the Defence Science and Technology Agency, MPA Guardian was commissioned and placed into service in April this year during the Singapore Maritime Week. At the onset of the project, a digital twin of the vessel was developed to identify the many what-ifs and system specifications required. Based on a series hybrid propulsion, this project also gave us further insights on software integration complexities to get different systems to work seamlessly together. Following in the wake of MPA Guardian, we are currently building a 32-meter hybrid electric wind farm crew transfer vessel for a German owner. In addition, the vessel is equipped with IMO Tier 3 engines for operation in environmentally sensitive areas. In 2020, Shell called a ferry service tender. The requirement in the tender was generic, but specified that the service must transfer some 3,000 persons during the peak period between Pulau Bukom and Pasir Panjang Ferry Terminal. The distance between the two terminals is about 2.5 nautical miles, and there is a requirement for service speed of 21 knots. The key condition for the tender calls for vessels with non-conventional propulsion technologies. We saw two challenges, but we took a pragmatic view on this. If we have simply checked the boxes and provided ferry with hybrid propulsion, there will still be emissions, since the distance between the two terminals is too short, and the speed requirement would not allow the hybrid propulsion to optimize the battery usage. We firmly believe that the full electric ferries are the only way to maximize emission reduction for the point-to-point ferry services. Now, building the vessel was the easier part. The second challenge would be the lack of shore-based infrastructure to provide sufficient energy to charge the batteries between the trips. And mind you, in this, the turnaround time for this service is only 9 minutes. You try to charge your headphone in 9 minutes. Together with our partners, Capt, Razor Blunt, German Engineering, and Deadforce, Penguin made a bid submission offering full electric ferries, including construction of shore charging seaway facilities on Bukom Island. To meet the short turnaround time for the ferries, Penguin partners Zinus, who is here, a Norwegian company, to provide autonomous high-speed charging jeeps on Bukom. Thankfully, Shell shares the same view as us, and in September 2021, Shell awarded the contract to Penguin International. When operational in first half of 2023, this will be the first full electric ferry service in the port of Singapore and a first for Shell globally. As for key takeaways, going green initially was harder than we thought, and there was no rule books to tell us what could or could not be done. We challenge conventional thinking and, where necessary, stick with facts to go against popular opinions and to forge our own path. Being situationally aware and understanding trends and counter-trends allowed us to identify and respond to opportunity. Finally, to talk about sustainability is cheap, but implementing decarbonization is not. We need like-minded partners to share the cost and also to share the cost. This is our new slogan, green is the new black. Thank you for your attention. Good day.